all doing tonight? My name is Bigbobbedboi, and welcome to another shit that happened, where we cover some really important TBC news. We got a bunch today, and it's really important shit, so let's cover it. But before we even get started, let me say one thing. Blizz has no goddamn idea how to schedule things. Alright, the first thing, last week we got a change to drums. This is probably the only positive thing we are covering today, so let's savor it. Whenever you are affected by drums, you now get a debuff called tinnitus, preventing further drum buffs for 2 minutes. This is what people had been asking for from the moment TBC was first announced. It is a good change. This means you only need one person per group for drums, not 4. The lesser drums from launch won't be much of a big deal, but the greater drums from ZA will still be really good this way. However, most importantly, this shows that Blizzard can reverse bad decisions and make good decisions, as long as we complain enough. Let's keep this in mind moving forward, otherwise I might have a brain aneurysm. Alright, on to the bad stuff from yesterday, which is bad. All bad. The rumored release date for pre-patch was correct. We will get the pre-patch May 18th, and the leaked June 1st date for actual release was also correct. This is awful. Just awful. Hunter Jesus could not be more displeased. The original patch 2.0.1 dropped 5th of December 2006, and TBC launched the 16th of January 2007. That is 42 days. May 18th to June 1st, that's 14 days. This is fucked. What is the reasoning for this, okay? Alright, we're not going to go off the rails here. This video will stay on the rails. Blizzard has to have some kind of financial reason for doing this. They're not that dumb. I mean, there's got to be some fiscal period some shareholder is all soft-dicked about. That has to be it, because there's no logical reason to do this from a player's perspective. This gives us less time to do pre-patch raids, which are pretty interesting at 60 with 70 talents. PvP, which a lot of people want to do for the interesting PvP meta, but also to get the PvP gear to help level. And probably most importantly, level Blood Elves and Draenei. Why give them in the pre-patch if it's only 2 weeks? No one is going to level them normally now because it's not enough time. Everyone is just going to be boosting. Hunter, Jesus Christ. I don't think they could have picked a worse date, maybe May 19th for release, I don't know. Let's move on to some other bad news now. The Deluxe Edition. Blizzard just $70 for the Deluxe Edition. It's not even a game. You can buy the Deluxe Edition of Resident Evil 8. That's a whole goddamn game. It's $70 for a boost, a mount, and some goddamn digital toys. While I'm not a particularly big fan of boosts, I can accept there are reasons for a boost. As I've said before, I do know people that are coming back for TBC that didn't play Classic. But to me, this is just monetization in one of the most sickening ways possible, second only to, well, something we'll talk about later in this video. When you couple this Deluxe Edition with the June 1st release date, their strategy becomes pretty clear. Make the pre-patch short enough that new people or returning players don't have time to level to 60 before TBC actually launches, so they get pressured into the boost. And then you may as well upsell them to the Deluxe Edition. That is disgusting. Now, original TBC did have a collector's edition, so at first I wasn't too miffed about Classic having one as well, but look at the original one. There's a lot of cool shit here. Like an Outland mousepad? Damn. I'd rock one of those today if it had RGB. But only one in-game item, a pretty boring pet. The Classic one is nothing but digital garbage. Alright, I'm getting really annoyed talking about this. Let's move on to more news. Oh, Jesus Christ! It's even worse. The character copy service. You guys remember that, right? So this was the service that lets you copy your character so you can keep it on Classic and move a copy into TBC. Sounds like a good idea. Except they want $35 fucking dollars for this. 35 Hunter Jesus Green dollars. Alright Blizz, this has gone too far. The boost I can kind of accept. The Deluxe edition I'm not on board with, but I can deal with it. The boost, the Deluxe edition, and the character copy service, it's just too much. This is probably more monetization than retail at this point. If Blizzard wanted to cry about the cost of data centers or whatever and charge a little, like $5 for the copy service, fine. But $35 is absolute insanity. I will not buy a single character copy on principle alone. $35 is fucked. For some reason, I was expecting Blizzard to keep this reasonable. I was wrong. I'm really dreading what they come up with next. I mean, what is it going to be? More store mounts? Character boosts with no restrictions? Shit! Alright, the last bit of news is not as bad. It's mostly weird, but we've got to cover it. And that's the PvP changes. So some of this is actually kind of good if you look at it in a weird way. Let's talk about that first. You can get water in Season 1. Some people are going to be annoyed because this can just drag out games, but there's some strategy to drinking, and I'm pretty sure the 5-second drink rule will be in anyway. And in a little bit of a way, this is actually a buff to all Night Elf casters, and I'm playing Night Elf Priest, so I'll take it. And you can also get the PvP mounts immediately, the Black Hawk Strider and the Black Elk. Those weren't in originally during Season 1. I really like both of them, so I'm actually pretty happy about that. Two pretty solid changes. Alright, and now for some weird changes. Arena teams start at 0 rating instead of 1500. I don't see the point of this. It's some weird hybridization of retail arena rating and original TBC arena rating. I'm going to have to see how this actually works in practice, but I'm not liking the way it looks right now. And now the just straight bad changes. All PvP gear will have consistent personal rating requirements to purchase and equip. Now, they did already say the equip part is wrong, probably because of backlash. It's just a purchase, you have the requirement, but this is dumb. This is very dumb. This is retail garbage seeping into Classic for no goddamn reason, and I hate it. Let's go over how dumb this is. Alright, this part actually got really long because it's really dumb, so I had to cut a lot of it out and just left a few reasons in. Why don't you post in the comments all the reasons you think this is dumb? I'm sure you can come up with 10 or 20. The first one, this will drastically reduce arena participation. Part of the reason participation was so high to begin with was people knew they could get their gear eventually, even if they weren't great. Now those people will get no gear or maybe just a few pieces like the glove. Sorry if you suck. Also sorry if your PvP gear is especially good for PvE. The amount of looking for 10 games for point spam will go down a lot, I guess, so there's that. But probably the biggest reason this is dumb, they specifically say an MMR range that will be similar to the range seen in PvP in 08. If that's so, then what about personal rating? Will that be the same as 08? Team rating? If that's the same as 08, why change the rating requirements for gear? The weapon in Season 3 was 1850. Now it's 2050. Shoulders are now 2200. There were battle groups where well below 2200 was glad range. And then they go on to say, a major goal we have in Burning Crusade Classic PvP is to provide consistency. Let me repeat that, consistency. As we step forward through each season and phase of content, we believe this will promote a healthier PvP environment that emphasizes the prestige players can feel when obtaining shoulders and weapons in particular. Then why add rating requirements to other pieces of gear? The original Season 3 system of just having rating requirements for weapons and shoulders already accomplished that perfectly. Going back to what they said about consistency, let's look at this gem of peak Blizzard stupidity. Tornadoes will randomly spawn in the ground in Season 1. Randomly spawn in Season 1. Consistency through each season and phase. Why would you do this? They were removed for a reason originally. Orgrimmar Arena also had its elevator pillar and fire bullshit removed for a reason until they trash bin that entire arena. No one wants environmental hazards in arena. And good job being consistent with your consistency. So the drum changes last week gave me a lot of hope that Blizz was on the right track here. And I'm not much of a doom poster, but the news we've gotten since then has been a lot of bullshit. Straight grade B bullshit. Getting a release date should have been a pretty great thing, but I won't lie to you guys, I am pretty goddamn disappointed today. If you enjoyed the video, hit that sub button, bell, like button, track beast button, share button, all that other shit. I appreciate each and every one I get. This channel even has memberships now. You can check them out by clicking the join button right by the sub button. It is absolutely the best way to support the channel because ad revenue does not do shit. And you'll get some really cool emotes. Plus it's way better and cheaper than a Twitch sub. We've gotten a lot of new members here lately. Massive thanks to those big bobbed wonderful people. I've got a lot of WoW content already on the channel and have much more coming, including streaming right here on YouTube. I'll be throwing up a stream tomorrow for sure. Let me know if you'd like to see a TBC beta stream or get back to the priest who's nearly level 60 now. But that is going to be all for this one. I really appreciate you all watching and I will see you all for the next one.